September 11th, 2011, around 7 o'clock in the evening. It's been a decade since 9/11 of '01. Such a tragedy that day. 3,000 people, innocents of death because of this terrorist attack. I feel terrible about all of this. Yeah, 2 planes crashing into the World Trade. One hitting the North Tower at 8:45 New York time. One hitting the South Tower 15 minutes later. It was just chaos that day. Smoke coming out of the buildings. People trapped. Firemen trapped. It was just really terrifying that day. But it's just terrible. I can't even imagine how terrible this is right now after a decade. I feel sorry for the 3,000 people that got hurt. This shouldn't have happened in the first place, along with the '93 attack on the World Trade Center. We never saw this coming. And as of to this day, the world has changed a little. No Constitution rights. That's thrown out the window since this incident. Patriot Act. No, not enough rights. Tragedy day for all of us. And the towers collapsing after an hour, 2 hours. That's really terrifying. But I'm pretty upset about this. We'll never get to see the same towers again. Neither will the guy that climbed across both of them by the time they got finished. Just want the old towers back. But to those 3,000 victims out there, rest in peace. Hope heaven is doing well for you as it was here on earth for you. And I apologize if I'm talking too much about this. It's just so devastating for me to talk about it. I'm sorry to the families that lost their loved lives out there, all the husbands, wives, children, brothers, sisters, everybody. I'm sorry this day happened to all of you. I was even too young to understand what this was going about. Not only were the 2 towers under attack, but the Pentagon and United 93 almost going for the Capitol. But thank goodness for those heroes on that flight, United 93, for stopping those terrorists from crashing it into another government building. They were heroes that day trying to bring that plane down to the ground. And I support them. But we will build these towers again because the victims want it up again to show that we can really show these terrorists that we are not going to tolerate with their winning against us. That's why I'm wearing this shirt right now, supporting the Twin Towers, that we can definitely rebuild them taller, stronger, and safer, and more compatible in case something does happen to it. That way it will not collapse again. So yep, that's the towers like this. And I will never forget that day when I was only 10 years old. But that's why I support it right in here, in my heart, that those victims will get their support up in heaven. But that's why also, nearly almost a decade later, we finally got this Osama bin Laden guy. We finally got him in our hands. And rest in peace, Navy SEALs that got him. Hope you're doing well in heaven also. You did a wonderful thing by getting this Osama bin Laden guy. Justice was served because of you. And here's actual real photo of him right now. That this shows our American pride. Just a second. And there you have it. Osama bin Laden. Mission accomplished. Yep. That's right, we finally got this son of a gun, and he's no longer a threat to us society. Not only that, we killed the second in command August 22nd, 2011. Yep, he thought he could beat us? I don't think so. Al-Qaeda is now low of the low. They are no longer a threat to me or anybody else in the United States. We are more prepared. We are going to do something about this. Al-Qaeda will never beat us again. But yep, we don't want to see this new New York. We want the old New York. And that's why I have this shirt. This shirt right here. This is the New York we want, with the Twin Towers. We want the Twin Towers back. 93% of Americans want these towers back, especially the victims' families. They want these towers back to show that we can show these terrorists that we are not going to lose this war, that we can rebuild these towers, just taller, stronger, and safer. And I agree with Donald Trump on this one. I would have gone with his plan, but the governor was just too not thinking about this, and he decided to let his friend borrow $4 billion just to build the Freedom Tower, which is nonsense in my opinion. I mean, it just looks not good. It's not even a good architecture the way I see it. This is a better architecture right here. That's what we grew up to, and us kids. And we like, and it really supports freedom. We want the towers that show freedom like this. We don't need another tower that's different and a little out of shape. But there will be one thing I will accept, is those footprints of the Twin Towers that used to be standing on Ground Zero for the memorials. That we can accept, because it's a good thing we have that. For that, for the Pentagon, and for Shanksville, Pennsylvania. We need those memorials to show that we support it. And to show that this is the worst attack ever after the Oklahoma City bombing. But enough of my grief here. And after a decade, now that I understand this more, I am sorry to tell the 3,000 victims of the families. Sorry about your loss, and I hope everything's okay for you, and I support you every step of the way. Rest in peace, the 3,000 people up in heaven, and long live the World Trade. Thank you.